Have you ever been at a job interview and they ask you, so tell me about yourself, your hobbies, your interests? You just sit there for a second, just for a moment, and you think,
You bloody fucking
that's a good question. What are my interests? And you're thinking, I just go home, scroll Instagram, scroll TikTok, watch a few videos, maybe shower if I feel like it, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, scroll Instagram, scroll TikTok, go to sleep, and just repeat that every day. That's my day. Generally every day, that's my day. And for that moment, just that one moment at the interview, you feel like an NPC, complete outcast, just a background character, no story, no purpose, just straight existing. That's not just interviews where it gets me thinking. It can be conversations where someone asks you, what do you want to do in life? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What are you into? And you're just there on the spot, completely blank, nothing to say. Not because you're stupid. Generally, you can't think of a single thing that defines you, that makes you unique. That's the feeling I want to talk about in this video today. And the thing is, you look around and it seems like everyone's got something going on. Looks like everyone's got it together, like they exactly know who they are, where they're going, what they're doing. They've got their life sorted out and things are decent for them. And then there's just you, just there. No direction, no purpose, don't know where to start, don't even know how to start. You just feel like the black sheep, the outcast. Like there's generally nothing interesting about you, nothing good to bring to the table. And I get reminded of that every time I'm in an interview. They ask about my hobbies and I'm just sat there like, yeah, I don't have any. I'm just here for the job, mate. Like, either give me the job or fuck off, because I'm not here for an existential crisis. You just cough up something that you might like, that you're kind of into, I guess. So you tell them, I like cars. But then you think to yourself again, my cousin, he can hear a car drive past, tell you what engine size it is, whether it's turbo, what stage tune it's running on. The motherfucker could probably smell the emissions and tell you what color it is. I'm telling you, there's people that make you feel like a fraud for even liking something that you're kind of mildly into. You know, you just feel like, oh yeah, I kind of like it, but you're not really into it like these other people. You know a bit more than the average person. But when it comes to that community that's actually into these cars, you feel like you don't even fit in there because you don't know enough. You just felt like you kind of like it and you know more than the average person. That also makes you feel like you're outcasted as well. The black sheep, you don't know enough. You're a newbie. You need to get out there. You feel like a fraud for even liking it. I'm not saying you should leave it. This is an example for someone that's half-hearted about a hobby. If you generally are into cars, then you can stay around these people and it might benefit you. You will learn a thing or two and you will progress over the time because you will gain a passion for it. And even the things you like, you feel like you're on the bottom of the list, like you don't even qualify to have that interest. And I'm not saying this to be harsh. I'm saying it because I've felt it. I still do. I feel it. I know a lot of people feel it as well. They just don't say it out loud. But here's the thing. It's not always laziness. Sometimes it's generally hard to find your thing because you can't force passion. You literally cannot force it. Take the guitar. The guitar would be cool, but do I actually want to sit down and learn it every single day? Fuck no, you can keep them fucking strings away from me, mate. I just think it would be cool. I didn't say I want to learn it. But let's say, for example, I do buy a guitar because I feel like I want to get into the guitar. Since I was half-hearted about it, I'm not going to enjoy it. It becomes a chore, something you dread, something that feels more like a job than a hobby. Real passion, real interest, it pulls you forward. You want to get better. It feels like a challenge you actually want to participate in. You want to take it on. Someone who loves football, yeah, it's hard. Improvement takes time, but you're having fun along the way because you genuinely want that. And that's the frustrating part. When you can't find that thing, when nothing clicks, when everything either feels too forced or feels like something you'd be a fraud for even trying to claim. That's not laziness. That's just having not found that thing yet. But here's what I think the deeper problem actually is. When you don't watch shows, don't read, don't have real interest, you just scroll all day, subject to just easy dopamine. You have no frame of reference of anything, no language. You can't connect with people because you generally have nothing to pull them into your conversations. For example, two people are talking about a show and you're just stood there. You want to be a part of the conversation, but you can't. Not because you're shy, just because you have nothing to say. You have no idea what they're talking about. You can't just start talking for the sake of it. That's when you really feel it. That's when you feel like a loser. There's nothing special about you. And some people think, hey, it's probably because I'm just different. I'm not like everyone else. And look, let me be honest with you. Being different is cool. But there's a difference between being an outcast with something about you. Like Van Gogh, weird guy. He cut his own ear off for the woman he loved. But the man had something. He had charm. He had passion. And you genuinely have nothing. The great philosophers, the great artists, yeah, they were weird. They were outcasts, but they had interest. They had depth. They had things about them that made people lean in. And you have nothing to talk about. Nothing to share. Nothing that makes someone go like, oh, that's very interesting. You should tell me a bit more than that. You're different. I like you. You're cool. That's not quirky. That's just empty. And that just makes you feel more alone than anything else. And look, I'll be honest with you, thoughts crossed my mind. I might leave this world without making a single contribution, just a ghost in the system. Here today and gone tomorrow, and nothing to show for it. And maybe that thought has crossed yours too. But here's the thing, the fact that it bothers you means something. The fact that you're watching this, thinking about this, asking yourself these questions, that means you're not done. That means you care. Purpose doesn't knock on your door. You go looking for it. And you don't have to find something massive. And Mr. Beast, he started filming on his iPhone 5S, built from there, built a whole empire from there. Now people out here that are finger painting, nothing big. It was just a little hobby, and then they just grew it, and then they started making these Van Gogh, Da Vinci type paintings. And you know, I started collecting Hot Wheels. Not that it's like a not that it's like a big hobby. I just Really like Hot Wheels. And I'm editing on CapCut, literally just CapCut. Small starts are still starts. You don't go from 0 to 100. That's what I heard from a friend. You go 0 to 1%, then 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and you keep going on. Discipline. You won't even notice how much you've grown one day. Then you look back and think, damn, over these years, over these months, over these weeks, I've grown. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. It's too late. I'm already behind. You see someone your age already built something, already got something going, and you just feel like you missed the start line. But Morgan Freeman, for example, didn't become a film star until he was 50. 50 years old. Had been grinding since the early 60s, decades of work before the world properly even knew his name. One of the greatest to ever do it as well. That guy is going to be in the books forever. I want to be very clear about this as well. Don't use that as an excuse. Don't sit there 25 thinking Morgan Freeman made it at 50. I've got bare time. Let me just chill. I got loads of time in this world. That's not the point. The point is there is no start line, no finish line. There's no race at all. This is your life and this is your pace. But that doesn't mean you should just sit around and wait because Morgan Freeman made it at 50 and these guys made it late. So maybe you might make it late as well. Because the more you're focused on what everyone else is doing, who's ahead, who's behind, who's winning, who's losing, the more you track other people's lives, the more you lose track of your own life. You lose yourself in the comparison and the time just passes. Focus on yourself. Actually try. Look within yourself and genuinely try find something. Not half-heartedly. No, yeah, I'll get around to it. Actually try. Because this isn't a game. This isn't GTA. This is your life and it has an end. You're not going to see a wasted screen and then you respawn somewhere. That's not how it works. And the other thing is, this one's simple, but it matters more than people think. This is genuinely going to change your life as well if you actually apply this. A life with no routine just feels like a jumble. You're spinning, going nowhere. Everything's just a mess. You can't even see where to start because you got no structure in your life. So start small. Wake up in the morning, make your bed. Just make your bed every morning. That's your first win of the day. You don't need to wake up at 6 a.m. with a full routine mapped out. You don't need to go 0 to 100 overnight, like I said, because you won't. Nobody does. Nobody ever has. You just build slowly. Here's what I've noticed. A person who already has a hobby, already has discipline without even realizing it. They show up for every day because they want to do it. That's all discipline is. Showing up consistently for something you care about. Whether you're on morning shifts, night shifts, doesn't matter. You work around your life. You don't make excuses. It's not the right time. It's not the right place. It's not the right anything. You don't make excuses. You just start somewhere 1% and then build. The routine fits around you, not the other way around. I wrote something this morning, woke up at 6 a.m, just wrote down what was in my head. And I've been trying to wake up in the morning, write down in my journal. But the first thing is I make my bed. That's where it all started. I always make my bed. I make sure my room's clean, then I make sure everything else is all good. But what I wrote today, it made me think while I was at work today. I don't want to die at whatever age regretting the things I wanted to do. I want to leave a mark, a footprint that Kijo was here and he never gave up on what he wanted, what he dreamed about. I don't have it figured out, not even close. I still feel lost most days, but I'm moving and that's enough for now. And that's why I made this video, because I wanted to see if anyone else feels like this as well. But I feel like I've thought about it long enough for me to speak about it, because I feel like I finally understand it. Because realizing is the first step, not to success necessarily, but just to move forward. The fact is, if you're thinking about it, you already made your first move. You're not stuck. You're not too late. You're not the black sheep that you think you are. You could die at any moment. That could be tomorrow's, could be the next minute. So do what you can. People in the third world countries would love to have your problems. And I'm not saying that your problems don't matter, but just be a bit more appreciative. Anyways, bye.